Hello everybody, it's me again, which means it's executive summary time. Okay, so we have continued in this oscillation fashion over the last couple of days. We talked about the fact that yesterday we were in kind of the oscillating up kind of mode, and today we decreased volume again down to 2.98 billion on the S&P 500. A quick look on the global exchanges shows us on the Dow Jones Global or Dow Jones World Index. You can see that we're still consolidating in this kind of triangulation pattern, so a lot of uncertainty, and that's not to be that's to be expected, I guess I should say, because we are approaching open range of June. So no real huge moves I would expect in either direction until we set the open range of the month of June, which will happen, of course, on Monday. And then whether we break that range positively or negatively in the following days will give us the big heads up as to where we're going from there. So I wouldn't be betting the farm until we get to that point. So with that being said, these are the ones that we tried to restrict it down to the stocks that I felt had the best individual personalities for longs and shorts tonight. And the first one is a familiar suspect, ATRA. Now, ATRA Pharmaceuticals was one we picked as a long back at what was it, $20, and rallied all the way up to 65, and has since had a nice pullback down to the 35 support, and is just having this beautiful little base that it's just breaking out from. The money flow is also broken positive, even though the price hasn't changed very much. So this is something that I'll be taking tomorrow, or we're putting an order in anyway, for a break above 39.87, and I'm looking for a target of 48.93. So a nice upside potential of almost $10. So a possible 20% play on ATRA Pharmaceuticals, and looking at setting the stop below, just below that low here at 36. So it's about a 2-for-1 risk-reward ratio. But as soon as we get some upward movement, I would be looking to update that stop to protect the entry zone. Now that's a fallen angel type of play. The other fallen angel type of play was CTCT. Again, very similar kind of move. Big drop down, consolidation triangle, just breaking out. These are a little harder to play, but we do have the good accumulation divergence on the money flow indicator here. The way I'd be looking at this one is a long at 28.13. Or a break above 28.13 with a stop at 26.83, and looking at a target of 31.33. Now, the other thing I liked about this, other than the money flow, was also the stochastic. And if you have a look here on the stochastic, you'll see that although prices remained lower, we're actually getting higher levels and higher bottoms on the stochastic, which shows buying sentiment. So this one also made that possible momentum playlist. And last on that kind of momentum upward swing was CTRL. CTRL is yet to break, but it's kind of forming a base here. This could be a bit more of a watch, but you can see again that similar thing that we see in the stochastic. There's higher bases on equal price, and a break, if these two moving averages cross, this could create a surge up towards where this 50-day moving average is around $11, which is also where we start to see some horizontal resistance coming just above that, but anything up and around that area. So that's another one to look at. Okay, next, NQ. This is a flag play. Big jump yesterday and of 7.79%. Didn't falter today. So anything kind of around the range of today's candle, I think this could be a possible jump up towards this kind of $4.50 range. So it could be a nice 10% pop. Sharp stochastic. This is a higher probability play in my opinion. And so anything around that inside that range today, so kind of around that 410, 415, as a pop up to the 450, or even as high as 460 is, I think, a quite possible play for this one. So NQ seems to have the guts as well as a flag play, and one I'm also looking to put an order in on. Now, to the short side, because we want to offset some of that long bias with some possible shorts, COL I thought was particularly interesting. Now, if we look at the money flow on COL, you'll see that we've had a very strong drop in that money flow as we've climbed up to these levels. And This I think is very exciting. We've got insider selling, which is fairly heavy recently, and if we just have a look at that, here we go. You'll see that we've got broad-based selling from different individuals, 3.6 million, 1.7 million, all around the price of 97 bucks. Current price, as you can see, 97.73. So this is interesting from those factors. And of course, there we are, right around that very same price. And I think that with this kind of triple top type of breakdown from the previous trend line, this has got a lot of good makings for a possible short. So I'm looking for a break below 96 with a stop at 97.27, and I'd be looking at two targets here, one at 93.44 and the other target at 90.18, and this is where those Fibonacci's come into play and where we can see these two previous bounce levels. So given the oscillation in the market, I'd be on the conservative side and looking at playing it that way. And the other short, and next short was CXP. This has also got some interesting stuff going on. Now again, the Twigs money flow, significant drop. We had a decent break in volume. Went from 612,000 up yesterday to 1.2 million down, and so this could be a momentum play where I would just simply be lowering my stop loss, originally placing it up around 27, so taking about 70 cents of risk and just letting it fall, because as long as we can pick up a buck 40 as a momentum play, we're good. So as long as this gets down to around 25, we should be solid. But again, I just continue dropping the stop loss as this hopefully falls down. And then the last for tonight's list, second last, OI, Owens, Illinois. This one's also had that very sharp drop. As you see, the price dropped down to the support level. It's not a huge reward, but if I see a break below 23.67, I think this could drop down to at least 23.13. So it's possibly more of a day trader's stock, and I'd be treating it as such. Now, it could, however, break lower. And that's where the momentum trade comes in, because we've seen some very soft support here. That was not very hard bounces. This wasn't hard bounces. So if we see a breakdown below 23.67, as a swing trade, I just set a stop at 24.21 and let it ride. And again, as soon as it starts to see any drop, lower the stop loss to the entry point to protect the transaction price. Now, the final one was TKMR. Also pharmaceuticals, and this is again a very similar pattern to everything else we've looked at tonight. Again, that nice rounded base, just breaking through the moving averages that seems to have held it down. So this is a short pop, but a short pop from here could mean from 14.24 up to this resistance here around 16. So you can see that's where the 50-day moving averages is coming down, and where that big candle drop here. We went from 640,000 to 1.05 million. So we're looking at that level as being key. So I'd be looking at the low of this candle as the target of 15.31. So looking at 15.27 as the target. Which gives us a nice, basically a dollar jump around 6-7%. So this one I like also on the long side from the kind of more that momentum play up, also in that pharmaceuticals area. So that is the executive summary for tonight. So looking at that again up to 15.27, and of course we will be seeing you all in the next executive summary. And happy trading, and have a great weekend.